I'm an accountant. I'm a qualified, chartered, certified accountant from the UK. I qualified in 2004, and I've worked in the corporate sector for more than 15 years. I've had quite a bit of experience in the business sector, and I hold a master's degree in business administration. I've always had a passion for accounting. I learned that I wanted to be an accountant when I was in primary school, and I've followed that passion to date. And I like what I do. I enjoy the space that I work in. I enjoy imparting my experience to other entrepreneurs, other businesses. I'm an entrepreneur myself, and I run a few portfolios of my own, and I am the founding partner of Setbooks. Setbooks is a company that is spread into four, where we have Setbooks Accounting Solutions, we have Setbooks Company Secretaries, we have Setbooks Tax Professionals, and we have Setbooks Training Academy. This is obviously a brainchild of it's basically my brainchild, and following a successful career in business in the corporate world, I decided to open an accounting practice so that I could help small, medium enterprises, impart them the knowledge that I've picked up over the years, and try and make sure I also grow them, and we grow together. Setbooks is like mentioned earlier. Setbooks is a business solutions provider, which looks at different things from company registrations, compliance, accounting, bookkeeping, financial statements, internal audits, and in partnership with other businesses, we also provide external audit services. Setbooks has grown from a small company which had 2 employees working for 10 businesses, but we've grown to over 15 staff members, and we are working for more than 60 businesses in the Johannesburg area. We basically work across South Africa, but we are based in Fourways, Johannesburg, but we do have clients in Cape Town, in Durban, in the Northwest, but yeah, our mainstay is basically the Johannesburg area. Setbooks provides an entire portfolio of business solutions, from your company registrations, your company deregistrations, registration with SARS, registration with the compensation fund, registration with UIF, and so forth. We provide bookkeeping and accounting services. Basically, we try to make sure that you've got an accountant without really employing one. We come in and make sure we do the accounting, the bookkeeping, financial services, and so forth. We provide quite an interesting tier of services, from just basic compliance, making sure that your submissions are on time, your submissions are done, and you are basically compliant with the regulatory authorities. And we also do internal audits. We also do independent reviews, and as mentioned earlier on, we, in partnership with other companies, we also provide external audit services. We've been in business since 2015, and we've seen ourselves grow from a small company of 2 employees working for 10 companies. We've grown ourselves to over 15 staff members and working for over 60 businesses in South Africa, predominantly in the Johannesburg area. Who do we work for? We work for everybody, from your professionals, your doctors, your lawyers, your IT professionals, traditional companies, as in manufacturing businesses, and we basically work for everyone. And our aim in that space is to make sure that we provide you with a solid accounting and business solution that makes sure that you focus on what you actually do best. If you are a doctor, focus on taking care of your patients and not to worry about compliance, not to worry about payroll, not to worry about those things, not to worry about SARS, not to worry about CIPC, not to worry about UIF. That's basically where we come in, and our aim is to bring these services, these solutions to you in a very cost-effective manner, so that you have an accountant without really employing one. That's basically what we do. Any business requires an accountant, and Setbooks is here to fill in that gap in the business community of South Africa and in the business community of Johannesburg. What does the accountant bring to the table? They keep the tab for you. They keep the compliance for you. They ensure that there is sanity. They ensure that you avoid falling into pitfalls with SARS, falling into pitfalls with CIPC, compensation fund, and so forth. And this is the reason why you would require Setbooks. This is the reason why you would require an accountant. You need to understand your income. You need to understand your expenses. You need to understand your cash flows. Are you making a profit or are you making a loss? Is it worth your while, whatever it is that you are doing? An accountant and Setbooks in particular will come and show you those things. And our aim really in this space is to make sure that you've got the services of an accountant without the need of hiring a full-time employee for that purpose. And this is where we come in. We try to provide these solutions in a very cost-effective way, and we try to ensure that we really serve your purpose from an accounting point of view. We set up your company, we register you with SARS, we register you with the different government departments that are required to be registered within the law. And we aim to make sure that you don't fall short in terms of financial reporting. You don't fall short in terms of submitting your things to the different bodies like SARS, CIPC in time. And your company is not being chased after by SARS because SARS doesn't know what you have done, and you don't have an accountant to really bring that information to the fold. Look, as soon as you conceive the idea of trying to have a business, you need an accountant. And half the time we walk into spaces where people have been in business for 6-10 years and they've never complied. And now the company is being deregistered. Now SARS is on your case. Now SARS is sending you penalties. Now SARS is charging you this and so forth, and you have not complied with UIF. Employees are dragging you around, taking you to CCMA and so forth. So you need to have an accountant right from the onset. They generally keep sanity in terms of business because they are aware. They know what the compliance requirements are. They know what needs to be submitted when. They know when you have missed deadlines. They know when, for example, at what point does somebody want to register for pay-as-you-earn? At what point does somebody need to register for VAT? And if you don't have an accountant, those things you really are not aware of. And sometimes it becomes a rude awakening when SARS is telling you that you owe them VAT in the millions. And meanwhile, you were not aware. You didn't even know you were supposed to be registered for VAT, for example. So when do you require Setbooks accounting? When do you require Setbooks as a business solutions provider? At any time. You can also come to Setbooks because you're not happy with whoever is doing your accounting at the moment. You can also come to Setbooks because, look, we haven't done the books for the last 5 years. Yes, it's too late, but at least you've got the solution now, and we can actually resolve things for you. We can process those 5 years. We can do the compliance as required, and we can make sure that you don't fall short. And going forward, you stay on top of the game. You stay ahead of situations. The kind of services that we provide allows us to, from just basic compliance to proper financial directorship, where we're running your budgets, we're running your cash flows, we're running your forecasts, we're basically running the entire portfolio for you, and you focus on what your business is all about. If you're in film production, you focus on doing film production. We come in the background and make sure that in that space, in that film production that you're doing, we've provided you what you require. You know what your budgets are, you know what your forecasts are, you know what your cash flows are, and you can basically see the direction of where your business is going. So that's basically what Setbooks is all about. There are different type of taxes, and the main tax is basically income tax, which is the tax that is levied on the profit that you make on your business. As soon as a company is registered, it automatically registers with SARS, and it gets a tax number. And every year, the business needs to submit the profit or loss for that year. And if there's a profit, the government levies a 28% charge on that profit, and it must be submitted and paid to SARS. There are three steps to submitting this income tax. You firstly submit a provisional tax at 6 months of your year. You submit another provisional tax at the 12 months of your financial year. Then you submit a final income tax to SARS, which should really be a summation of the two taxes that you have submitted. And there are different dates depending on your financial year. The general financial year for the country is the year end is generally February, and but companies can choose to have a financial year end that suits them. So that's really the main tax that you are exposed to. Then the moment you employ people, you must register yourself for pay as you earn, which again is a tax which is levied on the salaries of the people that you are employing, and this needs to be submitted to SARS every month. By the 7th of the next month, you must make sure you have put together your pay as you earn, and you have made payments to SARS for that pay as you earn that you have collected from the employees. This obviously comes with UIF, and for those businesses whose salary bill is more than 500,000 per annum, you then need to register for skills development levy, and it's obviously a percentage of your payroll. It's 1%, and this basically is a cost to the company. It doesn't affect the employees. In terms of UIF, the employee pays a fraction, and the employer doubles that fraction and submits the total to SARS at the end of every month. And like mentioned, it needs to be submitted by the 7th of every month. So Setbooks tries to ensure that those submissions are done ahead of time. Like, for example, we generally do not tell our clients that your deadline is the 7th. We try and make it the 4th and the 5th, so that we don't miss those deadlines. If we come and remind you about your taxes on the 7th, sometimes it's too late, sometimes you don't have the cash flow, and so forth. So that's one other tax. And then there is value-added tax, generally called VAT, VAT. Businesses that need to register for VAT are making a minimum income of 1 million per year. The moment your business gets to that threshold, you need to register for VAT, which means that on your services you need to add a 15% that should then be submitted to the government, and it needs to be submitted. It depends. Most businesses have to submit their VAT once every 2 months. And there will be a calendar. When you register for VAT, SARS gives you a calendar as to when does your VAT fall due, and you need to then comply with that timetable. For businesses that grow a bit more substantial, sometimes SARS requires that you actually pay that VAT every month as opposed to every second month. So it just depends, and SARS does advise you when your VAT is in a 2-month cycle or has become a 1 month cycle. So when does one need to register for VAT? The moment you hit that threshold in terms of your income, you need to make sure that you have registered for VAT. Otherwise, SARS will make their own assessments on the revenues that you have made, and they will levy the VAT for you so long. So yeah, basically that's why one requires an accountant. That's why one requires Setbooks Accounting Solutions, because we keep that tab for you, and we ensure that you are aware as to at what point do you need to register for what tax. We advise you. If you employ somebody, you need to be registered for an employee for employee taxes. If your revenue has gone beyond a certain threshold, you need to register for VAT, and you need to then start complying and making sure that these monies are paid in time. With SARS, if you don't pay the different taxes in time, there's an automatic penalty that comes, and it's generally 10%, and then SARS start charging you interest on whatever you owe that you haven't paid to them. So that's why you would require the services of an accountant. That's why you would require the services of a tax professional. That's why you would require Setbooks to come and assist in that regard, because that's what we do. And obviously, as a business owner, most times you are really bothered about your business. If you are a lawyer, you are really bothered about making sure that you practice law. We come in and then tell you, look, this is what your practice now requires. This is what taxes these are the taxes that can be levied on the kind of business that you're doing, and that's where we come in to make sure that we assist in that regard. So, look, I think the most important thing is to explain what cash flow is. Cash flow is basically the lifeline of any business. What money is coming into the business? What expenses do we have? When do our customers pay us? When do we need to pay our suppliers? Are we liquid enough to be able to afford salaries? Are we liquid enough to be able to afford to pay our suppliers? Can we pay rent? Can we pay taxes? So basically, cash flow is telling you what is available for you to spend, what can you save, what can you invest, and so forth. So how does Setbooks assist you in that manner? We do have models where we put together a model that tracks what is going on in your business. Where is the income coming from? When does it actually hit the bank? When do you need to pay certain things, and so forth? So we come up with models that ensures that we keep a table on that, and what's most effective is for us to be able to be sharing this information with you on a more frequent basis, because if you are going to be looking at your cash flow after 3 months, it's really not useful. If you want to manage your cash flows are managed on a daily basis, cash flows are managed on a weekly basis, cash flows are managed on a monthly basis. So you need to be able to understand the pattern of how this money comes in, how this money flows out, and when can you afford what, right? At what point are you able to buy assets in your business? At what point are you able to put money aside in your business? At what point are you liquid enough in order to manage those things? So where Setbooks comes in is to keep that tab for you, and we come to you and tell you, look, you actually cannot afford this. If you want to buy a machine, maybe not now, maybe you need to wait another 3 months, maybe another 6 months. Let's generate some more cash flow in order for us to be able to invest in these equipment or assets that you require. So that's basically how we assist you to manage your cash flows by analyzing the pattern of your spend, the pattern of your income, the pattern of your receipts. How many days does it take for your customers to pay you? Do they take 60 days? Do they take 90 days? How is that flow of cash happening in your business? And as mentioned, we bring in models that ensure that we can keep that tab and we can tell you as and when to spend. First thing is to be aware of what the business is all about. First thing is to be aware, is it really worth your while? Are you making a profit? Are you making a loss? Is there a budget to what you're doing? Is there a focus to what you're doing? And we really analyze that space quite thoroughly to ensure that we can assist you. There are different facets of business that needs to be attended to. At what point should you hire the next set of employees? Can you afford it? Do you have the money to actually do that? And that's how we assist, because sometimes business owners and decision makers, they don't quite understand these things, and they end up with a huge payroll that they cannot afford, and they end up hiring somebody for 3 months. Then after that, they realize it's actually quite heavy for them, and they actually can't afford them. Then they end up being dragged to the CCMA because you took somebody from a job, you've given them a job for 3 months, and then you can't afford them, and there are consequences to that. So our purpose is to actually analyze that space for you and advise you where it's going wrong and where it's going right. So that's how basically we assist in your business, and there are different things to really look at. At what point do you need to register for certain taxes, and what do you do if an employee is resigning? What is the process of resigning an employee? What is the process of engaging an employee? What kind of documents do you keep for your employees? What files do you have? Do you have a personal file for each employee? Do they have roles and KPIs and so forth? So that's how we basically assist businesses in their growth. And look, most times the business owner knows how to grow their business. Our purpose is to make sure that everything that they are doing is actually above board, and there's compliance, and there are no issues that will come back to them whilst they are busy growing their business. The statutory requirement is 5 years. So at whatever point you are, you must make sure that the records for the last 5 years are available, because the authorities, look, it's a statutory requirement. The authority requires you to keep the records for that period. They can ask for it anytime. So statutorily it's 5 years, but our advice as Setbooks is that, look, keep as much of your record as possible. Keep everything. Just keep everything. It helps you. You might want to go back to that information and create trends that can help you understand how your business is going, how your business is flowing, which are there cycles in your business. Does money come through mid-year? Does it come during the festive period? When is it busy for you? When do you need to emphasize on certain things? Which periods are low that you might want to promote through sales and marketing, and make sure that those periods that have got low incomes and low cash flows are actually covered. And that's basically what Setbooks is all about, to give you that kind of insight, to give you that kind of information. That's why we recommend that, whilst the law says keep for 5 years, we think keep for as long as you can. We've done work in spaces where we are looking at the last 10 years of a business, and if you don't keep those records, then you cannot do a trend analysis of what's going on in that space. And these trends are very important. They assist you in managing your business. They give you insight. They tell you when should what happen generally. So give me guidelines for the retention of all major business records. Yeah, our guideline is that keep as much of your information as possible, but the law requires you to keep the last 5 years. For all the things that we've obviously alluded to, you can contact Setbooks, Setbooks Accounting Solutions, Setbooks Company Secretaries, Setbooks Tax Professionals, Setbooks Training Academy. You can see the bio at the bottom of this video, and follow us on our social media platforms: Facebook, LinkedIn, YouTube, website, Instagram, and so on. So you will find us there, and you can press the notification button. We are going to be rolling out discussions like this to engage entrepreneurs, to engage business owners, to engage people who need the services of an accountant. Please do not hesitate to contact us, and let's do business. We are confident of what we do. We are confident of what we offer. We are confident of the skill set that exists within our space, and we are confident that we can serve you in the different requirements that you might have for business purposes. Thank you very much.